Welcome back to our Maserati series and welcome back to 2027 as we will continue this new season as we head to race 2 in China today. And that comes off the back of a bit of an up and down race last time out in Australia. So it wasn't the greatest. If we look at this previous race result, we did manage to get Kimi Antonelli to 6th after starting, was it P19 in the end? But yeah, it was a bit of a slog, and unfortunately Colapinto, we sort of switched to a free stopper halfway through and that didn't really work. So not holding that against Franco, that was us trying to try something a bit different. We switched to the free stopper because it was looking a little bit better on Kimi's side of the garage as he was always on a free stopper. But yeah, just so DRS heavy around Australia. Bit of a struggle, that one, to be honest with you. It does look better in China, though. The crucial element of Australia is DRS effectiveness. Our DRS isn't great, and it does mean for most of that track you are sitting in DRS. Thankfully, and as you can see, car performance is very low, our expectation in Australia, but does look better today in China. So we're hoping for a better result. In terms of car parts development, we've got 2 more designs and we might go emergency manufacture. We've got basically $58 million in the bank, so we might do a bit of emergency. We don't tend to do that, but because we've got the money, we may as well. And we're also now in a new ATR period, so we will get some more designs underway as well. Struggle for us obviously this year because we finished 2nd. We haven't got as many CFD or wind tunnel hours to use, but we've got a few. So let's bring that minimum lifespan right down. It's really medium and high speed we need to focus on here. So let's go with that. And 1 engineer on normal, that's going to be 33 days. And we'll get another front wing on as well. Let's do that. As I say, lifespan about 2 to 4 on that. And let's go for something like that on the front wing. That's going to be 1 engineer, 44 days. So 4 designs coming. We've got side pods and suspension that we're going to emergency manufacture for China. That should give us a little bit of a boost before going into that one. And here we go then. Side pods and suspension done. So let us get 2 of these on as emergency. It's going to cost $3.6 million. That's why we don't tend to do this. But because we've got so much money, we can give it a go this time. 2.4 for the suspension. And what we can do is then just do 2 normal as well. And 2 normal there. So let's go with that. Okay, and that is it. We are ready for China then. 18 for hire, the side pods and suspension, the new side pods and suspension on the car. So we're ready to see where we go with this. And it's changed. It was 18 for hire for Franco Colapinto, but it's 17 for hire for Kimi Antonelli. And we'll take that as we head into practice in China. Practice in China completed, and we're a little bit rusty here in 2027 because, again, struggling on the car setup. Only 89% for Antonelli, 93% for Colapinto. It's still doable and to have a good weekend, but yeah, we normally are at least sort of in the high 90s to 100%. So a little bit of a struggle early on in 2027, but both at high confidence, both rocking the new suspension and side pods. So hopefully that's going to be enough for a good result in quali as we head into Q1. Coming to the end of our first laps here in Q1 then. First sector for Colapinto, 23.3. Antonelli, 23.1. So temp to 2 temps up. 27.4 middle sector for Colapinto, 27.3. So I think Antonelli's about 2 to 2.5 temps up on this first run, as Colapinto heads to the line now. And he sets the pace at a 1:31, but we think Antonelli's going to go quicker. And he does by that 2.5 tenth margin. And Antonelli sets at 1:29.9. So let's see if that's going to be enough to see us through, or if we need to go out again. 1 minute to go then in Q1. We've opted not to go out again because we're 2nd and 5th. We're looking pretty good as Piastri goes a little bit quicker, but we're going to be safely through. Who's going to be out? Lawson in the Red Bull. Well, Max in the other Red Bull is through to Q2, setting the quickest time. Liam Lawson in the 2nd Red Bull is out in Q1. It's going to be interesting to see the actual running order of the grid, because as I say, Australia, a bit of an odd track, and it was hard to tell, but we did see Max absolutely dominate there. So Max's Red Bull looking good. McLaren's weren't too bad, but the Audis looked good Okay, out on our second runs here in Q2. We are on fresh sauce, having set our first times on a scrub set, but we're not going quicker, or we didn't in that first sector. Antonelli's still looking pretty good, though. Both haven't improved in the first sector. Antonelli improves in the second, but Colapinto doesn't. So 23.2 in the first, 23.2 for Antonelli, 27.2 middle, 27.6. So Colapinto a long way off in that middle sector. So it doesn't look like Colapinto is going to improve on this second run. Is it going to be enough? Doesn't look too bad at the moment, does he? But let's wait and see. Who's on a... Yeah, I think enough have already finished. So I think Colapinto will be safely through. But let's just see if he does improve. Antonelli has improved slightly. Colapinto doesn't. Antonelli improved slightly. Only a 10th of max. So looking very good for Antonelli. A bit of work to do for Colapinto. But I think we're safely through to Q3. As, I believe, both McLarens. Yeah, both McLarens out in Q2 then. Were they going to struggle this year? Have they not got the pace that they had last year to win both championships? Because that is a little bit of a worry for them. Both out in Q2. We also lose two RBs, one of the Audis and a Williams. Here we go then, underway with our final runs in Q3. We did set a time again, but that was on very much used tyres. They were about 70%, so the times are pretty bad, and Colapinto had traffic, so we should certainly go quicker in this final run on a fresh set of sauce, and it is a 23.1 first sector for Antonelli. It's 23.3, so Colapinto again about a 10th and a 10th and a half off. So Antonelli got the pace on his teammates so far this weekend. Let's see what they do through the middle sector, though. Colapinto still got a chance to fight back through the rest of this lap, and it is a 27.3 for Kimi in the middle sector. 27.6 for Colapinto, though. Not good. He's about half a second now behind his teammate, so a lot of work for Colapinto to do. Kimi Antonelli looks like he's locked in on this track as he heads down this long straight. Just a couple of corners to go now for Kimi Antonelli. What can he do? There's a big margin between Max and Bortoletto. Kimi's been filling in that gap between Max and the rest. Can he do it here? Can he put it in P2? Final corner then. Now it's to the line. Kimi Antonelli. Where does he go? It's P2. He does fill in that gap. Colapinto, I think, is going to be quite a bit off that, and it is. He's nearly... Well, he is, in fact, at 6/10 off his teammates. So Colapinto not quite nailing the lap there. Is anyone else still on a flyer? No, that is it. So Max is on bowl. Antonelli puts it in P2 and Colapinto P8. Full classification then. Max Verstappen looking very handy in that Red Bull. He's on pole, but Kimi Antonelli into P2, and he's looked good for that P2 all weekend. And our pace is looking much better around here, thankfully. Carlos Sainz in third, Bortoletto fourth, Yuki Tsunoda fifth, Ollie Behrman 6th, George Russell 7th, Franco Colapinto 8th, Perez 9th, and Charles Leclerc rounds out the top 10. In general, our pace is looking a lot better here, a lot more confidence in our car around here than we did Australia, so I'm hoping for a much better race than Australia, where we fell backwards and it was a struggle. Let's hope Kimi Antonelli can at least maintain P2, maybe take a fight to Max, but let's see, he was still quite a bit off Max, wasn't he? What was it? 3-4 tenths? He was a couple of tenths off in Q1, a 10th off in Q2, 3-4 tenths, so about an average of 2 tenths or so across those 3 qualifying sessions. But the margin he had on the guys behind was quite significant as well. So hopefully Kimi Antonelli's got a good chance of a podium and at least P2. But we'll see how we go as we look at strategy. Okay, then strategy, it's the old trusted way round this one. It's the soft, medium soft, looks to be the quickest way. So that's the way we're going with both drivers, starting on soft, middle stint on the medium, final stint on the soft. So a 2-stopper with both drivers, and it's Antonelli starting in P2 and Colapinto from P8. Here we go then. It's Max Verstappen on pole. He dominated in Australia, the season opener in 2027. Can he do the same in China, or can we give him a bit of a race today? Antonelli starts from P2. Can we attack Max into turn 1? No, we can't. Max holds on, but we are at least holding on to that P2, which is good to see. And Colapinto P8, so start nice. No collisions, no incidents, so we get away nicely in P2 and P8. We say P8. Colapinto's made a move somewhere because he's now into P7. So making a move on this opening lap. As Brian Bozzi congratulates him on that. And it was on Ollie Behrman.
Now we're watching the action closely here.
Ollie Behrman now in a Williams here in 2027.
Opportunities there.
And there goes Franco Colapinto into P7. Can Antonelli make a move? He's having a look. That's a little bit... Oh, God, we're nearly into the side of Max. And nothing doing. Colapinto, though, looks like he's making another move on George Russell. And George Russell, here in 2027, is in a Ferrari, which looks all sorts of wrong. But there we go. Colapinto, let's get a replay of that on George Russell. Let's say Russell in a Ferrari here in 2027. Franco Colapinto at the hairpin. Nice and easy on the inside. Stormy, hello. How's it going? Oh, no. Antonelli, lock up. That is not what we want. And he's going to tumble down the order here. Antonelli.
Yeah, I did not make a mistake.
Now, we can see what
Kimi.
happened. Let's watch these cars as they head into turn 10.
We're just trying to get into Max's DRS. And then Kimi
You
Antonelli.
can see the lockup. But that's
big
just
lockup.
the risk you take. The later you leave it.
Oh, that's going to cost us big time there. Fine, good to hear. Yes, I was doing well until Kimi Antonelli just had a lockup. And look at the tyre life. He's absolutely rinsed those tyres. And he's under pressure now from Sainz Tsunoda and his teammate. And Max looks like he's going to have another comfortable afternoon here. He's dominated in Australia. I can't remember what it was, by about 40 seconds, I think, in the end, wasn't it? It was something ridiculous.
Copy.
What's happened here now?
Mate, I f***ed up. I'm sorry.
Oh, Antonelli spun now. What is he doing?
Copy.
Oh, Kimi Antonelli, all sorts of issues early on here. He's had a lockup, and now he's lit up the rears.
Yeah, I did not make a mistake.
Kimi Antonelli, tyres down to 66%. He used 22% more. Right, chat, I'm just going to have to switch over here because we're going to have to change this strategy. Because those tyres are not going to last. I don't think we've got two mediums, have we? Oh. Right, we might have to do something like that, or... an extra stop, which isn't ideal. But he's absolutely wrecked this strategy, and it's going to have to be a bit of a recovery drive now. Right, what's the quickest between those? It is going onto that hard tyre. Okay. Okay, so Kimi Antonelli had a lockup and a spin. It's not only cost him 6 seconds to Max Verstappen in the lead, actually 9 seconds to Max, who was 8 tenths behind, so he's lost 9 seconds because of that. He's lost 6 seconds on Bortoletto, but the biggest issue here is his tyres are now down to 64%, and they should be around this 87% mark, so he's going to have to come in a lot earlier than planned. So Antonelli under a bit of pressure then from Tsunoda. WH Racing, hello, how's it going? Oh, but Colapinto looks like he's making the move on the inside. He is indeed. And he's through on Tsunoda. Colapinto up to P4. And he's got a great chance to get past his teammate here. And I think if he does, we're going to ask Antonelli not to fight him back here, because Antonelli needs to look after those tyres, really.
Copy.
So, a really good start to this race from Colapinto. Started P8. After 5 laps, he's into P3. Antonelli, on the other hand, had a bit of a shocker. We're in this first pit stop of the day then. Still on a 2-stopper for Antonelli. But this is a lot earlier than we wanted. And we're very early in the pit lane. The second garage now. And it's a 2.1. We like that. And where's he going to come out? Is it going to be dead last? Hadjar in the Alpine is there. I think it will be dead last, won't it? No, we're just going to get him out in front of Hadjar then. So Antonelli onto the hards. This is a different strategy. We didn't want to run this hard tyre, but force into it. Let's see how we go. A lot of these will have to pit soon, so he shouldn't have to do too much overtaking, hopefully. And there we go. Antonelli has got a bit of DRS on Maloney, the man he replaced. And he's going to send on this. No, he had a look.
Target at the moment.
Copy.
He had a look, but nothing doing. I can agree with your statement on the livery. I enjoy this one more than the others. Good stuff. Thanks, buddy. Antonelli sending it on the inside. I like that. And I am going to go high on the overtaking because he's going to have to get a few of these done.
Copy.
So Antonelli moves into P20 against the man he replaced at Maserati. But it's great to see Zane Maloney back on the grid. Replay of that then. Antonelli gets past Teo Porcher. Had to do that nice and early, and he's got that done. Didn't look like we did, but we're getting a nice slipstream nonetheless. So we're going to send one on the inside. Ocon does go defensive on it, as Ollie Behrman is the second man into the pits. I think he's the second man into the pits following Antonelli. He is. Ollie Behrman is next in then. Is Ocon jumping into the pits? No. So we're going to have to get this done here. Going to go around the outside this time. We're past Ollie Behrman in the pits as well. And we take a little bit of the curve there, but around the outside should have better traction on fresh rubber. And Antonelli moves himself up into P17. He's going to get a nice little undercut here. And next man up the road, Mick Schumacher, 6 seconds up the road now. Colapinto, though, we said he was gaining on Bortoletto. And he's not just gained, he's there with him now. Max, 12 seconds. Max is going to win this. He's going to go back-to-back. So we've got our work cut out. We're going to have to hunt down Max if we're going to win a Drivers' Championship in 2027, because Max should have 50 points out of 50 after today. Bortoletto has absolutely bolted off that final corner. We got closer. We did get DRS. Going to be too far back from here, though. We can have another go, though, on the start-finish straight. We're going to be boxing in about 3 laps' time. Bortoletto, when's he coming in? Here we go. This is the moment. DRS and a bit of battery. We're going to pull alongside Gabriele Bortoletto then. Can we make this move on the outside? They're fighting hard. It's a long way round, but it does give him insight to the left-hander. Once we drop down this small little hill here, here's the left-hander. Bortoletto not giving it up, though. He is fighting this hard. We're still side by side, but Bortoletto continues in P2. And we've got Perez, Stroll, Norris, and Teo Porcher into the pit. So that's promoted Antonelli to P14. Antonelli might be a net P2 after this first round of stops. But as I say, he is on the hard tyre, and others will have a tyre advantage on him. Colapinto had a little bit of an attack there on Bortoletto. But couldn't quite get it done. Is Bortoletto going to come into the pits? Yes, I thought so. He pushed pretty hard there. So it'll be interesting to see if Antonelli then, as he looks like he's just got past Mick Schumacher, is he going to jump Bortoletto here?
Good job. You are P13. In front of you there is Gasly.
So this is going to be for a net P2. And I think he is going to be past Bortoletto, isn't he? Not by too much, but Antonelli is past Bortoletto then. So that's good work from him. I'm going to bring in Colapinto. Yeah, do we bring him in the end of this lap? Do we go for one more? Might go for one more. Just to give us a bit of a tyre advantage in that next stint. Right, Antonelli now on Pierre Gasly, who's in an Aston Martin here in 2027. So everyone below Antonelli, apart from Hadjar, have stopped. The top 8 are yet to stop. Antonelli getting a nice toe. He's going to send it here. And that's going to be job done on Grzelu. Before this long straight and the DRS then, Antonelli moves into P8.
You're doing a good job.
Not due to stop now till lap 33. At the moment. So let's get Colapinto in then. This can be his first stop of the day. First of 2 stops. And as I say, we're very early in the pit lane now. Finished P2 in the Constructors. So we're the second garage on the pit lane now. McLaren at first. Looks like they're preparing for a stop as well. Piastri in. What can we do here? 2.4. A little bit slower that is for us in 2027, but we still take it. Let's see where we come out. As I say, Antonelli's already passed us. So is Bortoletto, but we've got a bit of a tyre delta on Bortoletto. Significant on our teammate. There's Behrman. Behrman's actually going to get an undercut as well. He stopped pretty early. But that's fine. Let's get Colapinto. Get those tyres up to 10. Mick Schumacher did pit now as well. So just Verstappen and Russell to pit, and Hadjar, who's lower down. All right, Max is in. But we want to get him past Ollie Behrman as soon as possible. Behrman goes defensive to the inside. There is room around the outside here. But it is the long way round, but we're liking it. And we've got inside line now to this final left-hander. And I think we got the DRS detection zone, but we've just lost a bit of traction, though we didn't get the DRS. Yes, we did. But Sainz is absolutely steaming ahead. And Colapinto is going to lose out. Yes, he is. Can he get Behrman? No, that's not worked well for Colapinto at all. See, this is a problem now. We've got a bit of a DRS train. Colapinto's going to have to do something quite aggressive, and he could look at the outside as Behrman's getting a little bit bogged down on the hairpin. That might open up the outside line. It does. That's nice work from Franco. Now, he's looking at the rear wing. Carlos Sainz is going to have no DRS to defend himself against. We're going to use some battery out of here as well. Battery and DRS. That Aston Martin's no straggler down the straight, though. We've got to go around the outside again, but Sainz not having it. And Behrman's still with us as well. So Sainz is putting up a bit of a fight here. So we're going to have to be patient for another lap. Sainz got to be dragging that car field. Yeah, Sainz has surprised me in this middle stint. He's come alive on those hards, unless he's using a lot of battery and tyre. What's the gap on tyre is 8% at the moment. But Antonelli's actually looking really good now, because his tyre delta is only 8% to these other hard runners. So yeah, I think the pendulum swung again for Antonelli, because Colapinto's losing ground here. And he's got to try and get this done on Sainz, but again, he looks to be a little bit too far back here. Inside would be better. But again, Sainz is covering off that inside, nothing doing. How far back is he? 7. Yeah, he's still about 8.7 seconds off his teammate. Yeah, he is pushing. He is on attack on those hards, though, because the gap is now 10%, so that makes more sense. But unfortunately, we've got a threat from behind. Yuki Tsunoda is about to launch her attack on Franco Colapinto here. On the inside, and that's all slow and sluggish. We're losing time all the time there. Ah, Franco, come on. This was looking good for you. And now it's going a little bit wrong. A yellow-white for Monaco would be cool. Yeah, like it, like it. Can we fight straight back with Franco? No. But these hard runners are attacking on those hards. So they've put the hards on, but they're going for an attack on them. Antonelli's just kind of holding on to P2 at the moment. Yeah, Audi looking good this year. Right, here we go. Colapinto, DRS. Can he reclaim P5 on Yuki Tsunoda? He's round the outside. He's got that one done. Are these AI teams on the hard now starting to ease off their tyres? Can Colapinto now come back and start to use his pace? Bortoletto's dropped 2.4 behind Antonelli.
Still lift off.
This is a Max win unless Max does something mad. Are we going to go for a late lunge? Ooh, Colapinto thought about it. As a Lance Stroll, the GOAT, who's now in Audi, has set the fastest lap. I'll say that Audi's got a good car. Yellow flag, was that a collision? Yes, it was. Are we going to get a safety car here? Sergio Perez With the Williams, I forget who's in the second Williams. That's not Behrman, because Behrman's further up. It's Albon. Albon's still in the Williams, and he's parked on the outside. Is he going to get going again? Looks like it is just a yellow flag. I think Albon is getting going again. Yeah, Albon's back on track. All right, here we go. Sainz has surely stopped pushing on those hards because now we're all over the gearbox. And Colapinto's got a great chance there. Moving back to P4, then hopefully he can start to use his pace to close to Bortoleto and his teammate Antonelli. Go for it now. This is going to be before the DRS. Not the wisest decision. Because now we're going to give DRS to Sainz all the way down this straight. As Perez gets a penalty for that collision with Albon. But actually, we're dropping Sainz quite quickly there. Yeah, Perez gets a penalty. Albon, no damage for Albon, so he gets away with that, but he's been punted down to P17. All right, here we go then, chat. Antonelli in for the second stop, his final stop of the day. Bortoleto probably going to get the undercut on him here, but we've gone a little bit longer to give him a tyre advantage at the end of this race. It will be the medium tyres going on. Bortoleto's on the mediums as well. Oh, nearly under 2 seconds there, but not quite. So we expect Bortoleto to get the undercut. How far behind will we be, though? Not going to be a million miles away, is he? No. Not at all, but Tsunoda's in between us, but Tsunoda does need a pit. Right, let's just get those tyres up to temp. So he's about 2 seconds behind Bortoleto, but he's got 12% tyre advantage, so I think that's worked out very well. Colapinto...
Try to minimize the gap with the car in front now.
He's going to lap 40, so I think Colapinto is probably on for P4 here today. That would still be a good result. Started P8. Antonelli's had a good recovery from his issues early on. We'll see. Colapinto might be very quick at the end. He's going to be on soft tyres. Plenty of battery with Antonelli. Let's start using that.
Use overtake.
Copy.
Oh, Yuki Tsunoda, we should get past him. He's on hard tyres at 35%.
Tires will be fine.
Copy.
DRS now. Should see that advantage in straight line speed. And there we go on the inside of the Audi. And Antonelli is through then. Back to P6. And the car ahead is Bortoleto. All right, Antonelli needs to get past Sainz. Sainz tyres at the end of their life. And we've got fresh tyres on. We don't want to be losing out to Bortoleto. That's our race for P2. Take the slipstream. We move to the inside. And there we go. We are past. But Bortoleto looks like he's now on Oscar Piastri. And he's going to get another helping of DRS here. Antonelli then. Key that he gets past Piastri. Don't want to be losing any more time. He's dipping back into the slipstream.
Keep focus on our race.
Now back out with the DRS. And he should be on the inside then. And now the man that we are fighting for P2 is the man up the road in Bortoleto. But the tyre advantage is 13% to us. So that's looking good for Kimi. Antonelli, let's have a go then. Let's have a go on Bortoleto.
Do your best. Overtake available.
Oh, we nearly went for it already out of the banking there. And we're going to move past. The difference using the battery will get DRS to pull away as well. And this is Antonelli back to P3. It'll be a net P2. And we're going to keep pushing, see if we can break the DRS. And give Antonelli a comfortable drive home.
8 seconds from car ahead.
And he has broken that DRS. Verstappen, race leader, finally pits. And in 2027, you get a point for putting it on pole. So Verstappen got a point for putting it on pole here. But here we go. Colapinto's final stop of the day. Let's see where he comes out. And hopefully he's going to have some pace to maybe chase down Bortoleto in the final 15 laps here. 2.1. We like that from the pit crew. And Max actually has come out. It's not going to last very long, but Max has come out in P2 behind Antonelli. But he will have the pace to get past us. But it's nice work last. Colapinto. Sainz is still out on 28% tyres. Piastri. Yeah, it's quite a bit behind, so I think that's going to be fine. Look at the stars. Thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Yeah, Max Verstappen, he's on better tyres. He's on soft tyres, quicker compound, and he's got better tyre life. So we're not really going to be able to fight Max here, but we might be able to frustrate him for a couple of corners. Sam and SOF, thanks for the follow. Super appreciated. Hope you're both doing well. And if you haven't already, do smash that like button. So Colapinto is 15 seconds off Bortoleto. That's quite a bit, isn't it? But what's Bortoleto tyre? We might be able to close it. And there goes Max Verstappen. Then, as I say, we haven't got the pace to challenge Max here today, but it is looking like a comfortable P2 for Antonelli. Colapinto, what are we? 2.4. 2.3 off Bortoleto. So we're trying to close down Bortoleto here with Franco Colapinto for a double podium here. And here we go. We can see him now. We can see Bortoleto. We've got DRS on him. A little bit too far back. What's Bortoleto's tyres? 50%. This should be easy work for Franco Colapinto. And this will be a double podium for Maserati in round 2 in 2027. That would be very good for our constructors. But we've got work to do. We're going to challenge Max for the Drivers' Championship. Got a yellow flag somewhere. So we don't really want a safety car now. Say Maloney having a lock-up. Dead last for Haas. CC, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. Colapinto then. This is the moment. Franco Colapinto gets into the slipstream. He's going to get DRS here. And we should have better traction on these softs. And we pull to the inside early on here. DRS now open. We should see the speed difference now. And by the time we get to the braking zone, Franco Colapinto is into P3, but Bortoleto does break that a little bit later. But he can't get it done. And Colapinto then into P3. That tyre advantage helping him there. And he's now into P3, but he's 19 seconds off Antonelli, unfortunately. So I don't think he's going to have that kind of pace in 5 laps, but he should be able to pull away from Bortoleto here. But here comes the Dutchman there, Max Verstappen, just the left-hander to do. And he's dominated, as I say, in Australia. And he's dominated it in China. It's Max Verstappen that wins the Chinese Grand Prix. And then we have to go 19 seconds down the road to our first Maserati, our team here. And it's Kimi Antonelli, who's had a really up and down race. Lots of mistakes, but somehow still made it work to finish P2 and 15 seconds ahead of his teammate. Not sure how he's done that, but Kimi claims a podium. His first in 2027. It's P2 for Kimi Antonelli. But Colapinto started P8, and that is a mega drive from him. Started P8, gets himself to P3, no mistakes, solid pace. And Franco Colapinto is going to be on the final step of the podium. It's P2 for Kimi Antonelli and P3 for Franco Colapinto. And we'll have a look at the full race classification then. Max Verstappen takes maximum points. He's won both races, and he got pole for this one, so you do get a point for pole here in 2027, so he should be on 51 points. So good start to the season for Max Verstappen. It's Kimi Antonelli, started P2, finished P2, but it was up and down in between that, but he finished P2. But look at this, great work from Franco Colapinto. Started P8, up 5 places to P3, and yeah, really good drive from Franco, and his best result for quite a while. As I say, Brazil, I think he got to P5. Can't remember the last time he was on the podium, but good to see him back up there. Bortoleto, he finished where he starts as well in P4, so solid points there for Mercedes. And look at the McLarens, as I say, their race pace really did come alive. Up 6 places for Piastri to finish 5th. Lando Norris up 9 to finish 6th. George Russell in the Ferrari finishes 7th. Yuki drops 3 in the Audi to 8th. Lawson up 8 as well in the Red Bull to get into the points, and Lance Stroll in the other Audi up to 10th as well. So it does mean Perez in the other Mercedes doesn't get into the points, and Leclerc just had a miserable race down there, started P10, dropped 3 places and finished P13. Drivers' Championship then, it's early days, it's only 2 rounds, but yeah, there we see it. Max Verstappen 51 points, he's got 2 wins in a row, 25 points each for that, and as you'll see in the bottom right here, you got a pole position and you get a point for pole, so he's got an extra point there. Lando Norris is in P2, so he had a podium in Australia, and he got 8 points here today, but Kimi Antonelli has now drawn level on points on 26. P2 for Kimi Antonelli, up 3 places to 3rd. Gabriel Bortoleto up to 4th. Sergio Perez drops, no points for him in the Mercedes today after his 3rd place finish in Australia. And Colapinto into the top 6. That's where he finished last year. 15 points for him today. Stroll down to 7th. Piastri up to 8th. Tsunoda down to 9th. And Russell jumps 9 places into the top 10. We've already had quite a few point scorers because we've also had Mick Schumacher in the RB, Liam Lawson and Pierre Gasly. Constructors then, only 2 rounds gone. But thanks to Max's points, what's he got? 51. So Lawson has got 3 of those 54 points so far. That's about as accurate as real life for Red Bull, isn't it, with a second driver? But because of Max's points, Red Bull are just ahead in the Constructors. But if we keep up what we've done today, we will overtake them. So we're into P2, up 3 places today with 33 points. Best team collectively with points, and we're into P2. McLaren stay 3rd, but Mercedes are level on points. McLaren have drawn level on points. How have they not dropped us? Because we've jumped them both. So McLaren technically have jumped Mercedes but lost out to us. So they stay the same, but they go ahead of Mercedes, if that makes sense. But they're both on 37 points. Audi doing big things already early on in this season, 23 points. Ferrari, though, they're really struggling in 2027, only 6 points. RB have 4, Aston Martin have 2. So it's only 3 teams that haven't scored this year, and that's the earliest that's happened in this series. I think last year there was 4 teams not scoring until about the last 5 or 6 races. So plenty of different point scorers early on, so we like to see that. What about the pit stop competition? We're pretty confident on this year, and we have got the fastest stop of the day again, and P4, but McLaren do big things as well. So McLaren up to P2, but look at this. We've taken 80 points in the pit stop competition. We've done a lot of work with the pit crew over the last year or 2, so it looks like we're going to have very good pit stops this year. And our head of aero is going up, which is nice to see. So is our technical chief. Anything else? No. But this one does come to a close, and a very good race. Australia, the season opener in 2027, was a little bit of a worry, to be honest with you, but I think it was just track specific, that race. This one has gone very well. Kimi Antonelli, really up and down race, lots of mistakes, but somehow still finishes P2 with a good margin on his teammate. But I don't take that away from Franco Colapinto, because he started P8, had to get through the traffic, he got through the traffic, and he finished P3. So a really good drive from Franco, and a double podium early on in 2027. It's looking good. Got 17 races to go to win that Constructors and start to send a bit of a fight to Max Verstappen, who looks pretty good for this Drivers' Championship this year. But we'll see how we go as next time out. As I say, we're going to be in Japan as we continue this F1 Manager Maserati series.